Kong is finding it difficult to adjust to his life in Hollow Earth, while Godzilla is protecting the surface from threats. A mysterious radiation has Godzilla going on a seemingly aimless rampage, while Kong finds a way to below Hollow Earth where he meets his kind, only to find they are ruled by an evil titan. Hello folks, Luke Ripa here, and welcome to my review of Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, directed once again by Adam Wingard and starring Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and Dan Stevens. The film picks up right at the status quo consequence of Godzilla vs. Kong aftermath. Godzilla is the king and guardian of the surface, Kong is the king and guardian of Hollow Earth. And the movie does a pretty good job at establishing that normality in a way that when it's disrupted by the radiation, it feels real. In general, most of what happens to Kong feels that way. He is the main character of the movie, and his journey and the eventful impact it has on him is felt very well. Thanks also to the fact he is very expressive, much like every one of his species. They have literal dialogues without saying a word. The relationship he builds with his kind is really genuine and authentic. As far as Godzilla goes, he is his guardian, nothing more, nothing less, and everything concerning him goes around that. He has less interactions with other titans the way Kong has, yet the few moments he actually has, he is really expressive. All to say, again, when it comes to titans, everything is done greatly. The fight scenes are especially awesome. They are choreographed and photographed smartly, and they are all thrilling on their own right up to the absolutely bombastic final battle. And I don't even mention the great audio work. To enjoy this film, if you can't go IMAX, go Dolby Cinema with Atmos at the very least. Maybe the only thing we lose, aside from casualties, we're talking about millions of deaths and dramatic damages to UNESCO World Heritage landmarks, given most of the fights are in Hollow Earth with mostly titans alone, is the sense of scale. We don't perceive how big Godzilla, Kong and the other titans are this time around. This hurts a lot to the villain Scar King, which you saw in the trailers, who never really feels that big up until the third act. Same goes to both team sidekicks, so to speak. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Even Small Kong, which is not really named, is way bigger than it seems when he is finally put next to people. And by the way, Small Kong's arc is awesome. So this time around, not only fights, but even drama. The Titans take over the movie, and you wish Legendary would pull the trigger for a Titan-only movie. Especially because, much like it was for Godzilla vs. Kong, the human part is really redundant and it's there only to explain the world building. Sure, Jaya's subplot is interesting and very important to understand what the radiation really is, but is buggered by constant exposition dialogue. It becomes annoying. I understand why exposition is there. The main target for Godzilla x Kong aren't certainly 31-year-olds like me, but kids, yet I can't help but think kids would watch this movie even if it was just titans battling it out. To the movie's credit, this time around the human part is not that serious, and I'm somewhat glad of it mocking the Italian government with a joke that actually feels realistic given the context. But yeah, it's a shame two movies in a row don't have good human plots, despite the first three films were really strong in that department. And it's not like the actors are doing a bad job. Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Dan Stevens, who confirmed his natural comedic timing, and Kylie Hottie do all a good job. Especially the latter, she's really good and I wish she wasn't buggered again by exposition dialogues. By the way, there are no Monarch Legacy of Monsters connections either, so if you were looking forward to it, you'll be disappointed. Overall, I give Godzilla x Kong The New Empire a 7 out of 10. The human subplot drags it down significantly, but when the titans are on screen it is a very well-crafted extravaganza. That's it for this review. Did you watch Godzilla x Kong The New Empire? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this review, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and follow. You can find Wikos on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok and Twitch, and be sure to turn the lights on so you won't miss our next review. My name is Luke Ripa, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on Wikos.